So we go from boys junior 8s to girls junior 8s, the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy on the far side of the course, the Berkshire side. That's the left of your picture. It's a young women from Emanuel School. We saw their boys come down earlier in the regatta today, and it's fantastic to have the boys and girls 8 from Emanuel School, and they are racing the women from Surbiton High School, who we haven't seen a lot of in the 8s since the 8's head. But Surbiton High School, they're now on the left of your picture. We've got the reverse camera shot. Emanuel School hanging in there.
Yeah, they are, and I think that point that you picked up about Surbiton is fascinating, because they had an incredibly successful Henley Women's Regatta not so long ago, and so they'll be so familiar with this opening stretch of the Henley Royal course. But they brought in their winning Coxed 4 into this 8, you know, to go after the Prince Philip Challenge Cup, and that crew at Henley Women's, they were superb to watch on and cover some of their races. So they haven't had as much time as some of the other 8s, some of the other programs, you know, to spend, you know, weeks together refining the technique and everything. So it's fascinating how they brought that together, and particularly as they come up, you know, if they are to advance through this regatta, if they come up against greater challenges, how that time together impacts the crew will be fascinating.
Yeah, pretty decent results. They beat a couple of American schools, Newport Aquatic Centre in the first heat, and then they beat Blair Academy just half a length, so they're pretty tough racers. And pretty much there, the women in the stern, Holly Sinclair, Emily Shaw, 7-woman Grace Bates, Amy Bryan, and of course Cox, Hannah Jacobs from that mighty Cox 4. But I want to say this is great for Emanuel. Ella Toa, who coaches that boat, I mean, they're still there, they're still in contact. And of course, Emanuel, I think they famously won, did they win the Princess Elizabeth in '66 or something like that? One of the great crews of the 60s, struggled really to find their form of late, but now they've got John Moon there, former Henley winner with Molesey Boat Club. He's got boys and girls 8s into Henley Royal Regatta. I'm sure he'd be on a performance bonus for that, won't he?
I could imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it if you're watching at Emanuel School. John Moon obviously delivers the goods, and these women are doing ever so well in this contest. Very lively. Rate hasn't faltered. Surbiton's still up there, and they're still pushing the women from Surbiton High School with a big S on their blades.
Yeah, it makes it nice and easy to spot for commentators if they're coming down the course from far away. But they're doing a great job, and Surbiton have done a great job over the years. I mean, you think of some of their alumni. Lola Anderson immediately springs to mind. And, you know, I had a chat with her before the National Schools Regatta, and after her time at university, she went back, did a bit of coaching there. And I think the sense that I get about Surbiton is that it's a very tight-knit community. Not the largest program, they won't field the largest number of boats, but the top-end speed that they're able to deliver, but also enjoy the rowing. It really sounds like they enjoy their rowing there, and I think I got that impression with Lola and the time that she spent at Surbiton, which is why you go back and give back to your old school.
Yeah, absolutely. Surbiton High School row on that stretch of river, sort of between Kingston Bridge and Hampton Palace. And Emanuel School row just by Barnes Bridge there on the Thames, part of the school's head course. They've had a great season, this boat club. They had a super training camp. I think they went to Zabaudia, which is just south of Rome in Italy, that lake that a lot of the international teams go and train at. And you can see how they benefited from that camp with that cohesion and that aggression. They really have harried Surbiton the whole way down this course.
Yeah, they certainly have, and I think Emanuel as well. You know, you've talked about them coming back and some of their performances and everything. I think you can only start to do that if you build the foundations of a real club, and they've started to do that, particularly this year. They sent one of the largest entries out of all clubs to National Schools Regatta this year, across the board.
That's a great stat.
And I couldn't give you this precise number to make it an even better stat, but one of the largest contingents at that school. So they've got the juniors here, they've got the interest from across the school, and to then be able to feed that, funnel that into a top-end 8 like this is terrific.
So it's Tuesday, the 1st of July. We're at Henley, the beautiful Henley, the River Thames. It is scorchingly hot. It is the first day of Henley Royal Regatta 2025. And these two young women's crews, Surbiton High School and Emanuel School, are battling it out for the honour of who will go through in this heat of the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy. There are the women from Emanuel. That rhythm has never faltered. And I look out of our commentary position now with the plastic windows rolled up to let a little bit of breeze in to cool us down, and Surbiton High School just to my left. They are leading by about a length. I think maybe they might have a little bit of clear water overlap, but this has been a dogged fight by Emanuel the whole way down the course. Tell you what, the school's going to be so proud of them, aren't they?
Enormously, and I think the way that they've been able to hang in there while Surbiton have jumped out to that lead, you know, it's never been more than this down the course. I mean, the blade work there we can see from Surbiton, again, as you say, it hasn't faltered right the way down the course. And I think, you know, in future races for them, it'll be so important they get out in front, but they're able to continue to stretch away from their opponents in a way that Emanuel just haven't let them do this race.
So Surbiton High School come up to the finish line to take this heat of the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy. Brave finish from the young women from Emanuel School. Surbiton High School, in a heat of the Prince Philip Challenge Cup, beat Emanuel School.